I have been lucky in those who were around me from the boardroom to the dressing room. In times of stress, their unstinted support, unbroken devotion to our club and calmness in adversity eased the task of making Rangers Football Club the premier club in this country. To be a Ranger is to sense the sacred trust of upholding all that such a name means in this shrine of football. They must be true in their conception of what the Ibrox tradition seeks from them. No true Ranger has ever failed in the tradition set him. Our very success, gained you will agree by skill, will draw more people than ever to see it, and that will benefit many more clubs than Rangers. Let the others come after us. We welcome the chase. It is healthy for us. We will never hide from it. Never fear. Inevitably, we shall have our years of failure, and when they arrive, we must reveal tolerance and sanity. No matter the days of anxiety that come our way, we shall emerge stronger because of the trials to be overcome. That has been the philosophy of the Rangers since the days of the gallant pioneers.
No, you can't see it.
That's us in a second. We're only 10 seconds, us two in the baby.
Hi guys.
Well, Connor Golson.
Connor Golson.
Tavernier to take it, Golson with a flick, and Rangers have scored already. A pulsating start. Tavernier to take it, Golson with a flick, and Rangers have scored already.
As soon as he's in there, he just has to lift it.
Well, welcome along to Gers TV. It's myself, Sandra.
Hi guys, how you all doing?
And William's doing the editing. Guys, what a
Taking the
weekend.
picture there.
What a weekend. Celtic.
Absolutely brilliant, delighted.
Celtic 0, Rangers 2.
Yes.
Against the odds apparently, but wasn't it?
Played them
Wasn't
after
it
park,
against the
I
odds for
think.
the Rangers
Played them
support?
after park.
I don't think any Rangers fan anywhere in the world was
I'll
surprised.
complain. I don't think MD will complain at
No,
that either.
predicted that we get a victory, but apparently according to the media it was surprised and everything else. But fantastic, what a game.
Definitely.
Before we start, the usual, like, share.
Like, share and subscribe, guys. Any page, doesn't it be a Rangers page, any group you've got, please share your page and get us out there.
Guys, you've seen the goals there. I'm just going to try and get a wee call here for a Rangers legend to give us his lowdown on it.
Yep.
We're just going to get a quick chat with the one and only Ian Ferguson, the most decorated Rangers player in history. And he's live from Australia any minute now. He's going to give us a wee call and give us his thoughts on the drubbing. I mean, it was 2-0, but it was a drubbing. It's the most comfortable I've seen Rangers playing in a long time at Parkhead.
Definitely, they played well. Definitely played well.
Yep.
And as you say, Rory, players were missing.
Well,
The stats.
I keep hearing about the other side, how they didn't have a full team. Rangers have got a full team that we're going to name, we'll name them in a minute. And that full team could have played.
Sat on the
easily.
bench, yep.
Our bench was fantastic. At no point in the game did Rangers look under pressure. Another thing is they're talking about the Celtic's chances at goal. They didn't have any chances
I'd
at
never
goal.
seen
They can't
any.
class Griffiths one's a chance at goal because they didn't actually go towards the goal.
You know,
Rangers were 100% comfortable at all times.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed the game, guys. And I dare say every Rangers fan out there did enjoy it.
As I say, guys, let us know your opinions on it. We've done the predictions, but I don't think anybody thought Rangers were going to make it a lot easier.
I'm still rough, said Billy Bailey. You're not alone there.
Oh.
This is 3 days later and I'm still feeling the
That's the one
effects.
thing I noticed. It was Facebook was really quiet on Sunday because everybody was bevied, man.
What I see in the streets on Sunday, absolutely dead. Absolutely
What I
dead.
was
It was
wondering
eerie.
about the result was the fact that mob went over the city, vandalised it, made an
Yep,
ass of themselves.
yep.
Basically, they were so cocky and they were so confident.
That's
of getting the
karma.
result.
That's karma.
And that goon Sheridan as well. He does a video talking about the big teams and the wee teams playing and everything else. Here's my prediction: AC Milan will come him as well. So
Hopefully, yep.
And what happened is
Yep.
they underestimated the opposition. They forgot how good the famous Glasgow Rangers were. One thing I'll say about the Rangers team just now, it's a well-oiled machine. I know everybody's saying that quote now, but it's so true. Every part of the Rangers team knows what it's doing. For the defence, to the midfield, for the goalkeeper defence, to the midfield, to the attack. It doesn't matter what sub comes on, they all play the same game. They all play the same style and it works.
Aye,
And Celtic were chasing shadows the whole match.
definitely. Absolutely good day my doing, says Jim Ward.
I mean, it really was a
That's the Celtic way for us, James Wood.
I mean, guys, tell us this. There's a lot of older people watch the show. Have you ever seen Rangers dominate an Old Firm game at Parkhead?
From start to finish. From start to
easily?
finish.
Not one time did I have that fear that they were going to score.
I read a wee comment there, and I think it was John Ramsey. And he says, "Hi guys, I'm not complaining about our team, but I don't think we get out of first gear. Thought if we played better, we could have took a few more goals."
100%. I agree with
Yep,
that.
definitely. They didn't need to get out of first gear.
Rangers toyed with them at times.
Yeah.
And I mean toyed with them. The football was it was unbelievable.
The passes, I think, were outstanding too.
Aye, I mean, I've got the whole Rangers team here. I want to go through the whole team, right? Because I don't like, I've seen people saying about one player was better than another and all that, right? I'm going to go through the team and find it here.
But I bet there's a lot of you still rough out there because it took me 3 days to get out of this.
Right, so you're looking at me, right? In defence, right? People saying that McGregor didn't event today. I don't agree with that 100%, right? Because first of all, he's a goalkeeper and he's going to be there. Because if there's no goalkeeper in, they're going to score, right?
Yeah.
He's got to get himself in positions, he's got to be comfortable and he's got to do distribution. Everything he done was fantastic. He looked comfortable, do you know why? Because he made it.
He made it, aye.
Tav, how many times have we had to eat?
Words. I know I'm one of his biggest critics, aye.
Words, right? The ball that he put in from the first goal was outstanding. Again,
Yes, aye.
every week they're saying this.
I know.
His final ball is fantastic. Then you get into the rest of the defence. Goldston, I've criticised him. So first one to hold my own up. I've criticised him, man.
So that.
I couldn't believe he scored one, but to score two was unbelievable. Just trying to get this sorted for Fergie to get through now. Have we got Ryan done? Yeah, we'll just get this sorted now. We're going to get Ian Ferguson to give a wee call for live from Australia.
And bear in mind, guys, it's 5 in the morning in Australia.
Type it over there. Aye, so I mean, I said that in the defence you get goals and scoring, no one goal, two goals. And it made it look that easy. It was just it's fantastic to see it. The whole defence looked comfortable. Last season that was a weak point. Graham Souness made a point years ago. Get the defence sorted and you win leagues. Rangers don't look like losing goals.
I know.
They really don't.
I know.
Midfield with a whole midfield in the defence on the bench.
I know. Because everything's changed on your screen, guys, my eyes are all over the place here.
Literally, we had a whole midfield on our defence, on our bench that we could have played. I mean, we had a full team we could have put out there that we didn't play. As well as that, we've got a few people mentioned the fact that Alfie didn't score, but Alfie played great, I thought.
I think he looked a bit more comfortable this time round, playing against them.
He was delighted with the result. He's delighted he didn't need to score the goals. He's running after the ball is fantastic. Their best player's probably Brown, and Brown's finished.
He's
but
on, he's no road out.
They brought him on because Defiance didn't come on, and he's not got that ability anymore. He's not got the pace to catch up, to keep up. But Rangers toyed with him. Steve Davis, how many games has he played in the last couple of weeks? He's not playing. Davis, what an example.
For his age, aye, did well.
The Rangers
definitely.
and then you just look at it. I mean, there's no. A few people criticise Barker. Barker was there to do a job, and he done the job he was there to do.
And yet, see, when we were writing all the missing, you don't realise all them were missing because we had such a good team out there.
Exactly. But I mean, read out the players that could have been playing.
It could have been playing with McLaughlin, Patterson, what did you get? Catchy, Bassey, Hadji, Jack, Aribo, Jones, Defoe, Itten, and Roof. Zunga and Bogan. That's the ones I couldn't pronounce.
They guys could easily have played in that team.
But you didn't realise all them were because we had a good team out there.
So it's not, but you can't have excuses because you've got to win games. But don't get me wrong, if we don't win the game against Livingston, it means nothing. Right? Consistency is a big thing for us, but this season we've showed consistency. The players seem to, even when I listen to Goldson's interview on TalkSport, I think the players are starting to really get what it's about now. It's not just about beating Celtic, it's about beating everybody. It's about keeping clean sheets.
Hey, keep sharing for us, guys. Doesn't need to be a Rangers page. Any group page you've got. Keep sharing us and get us out there.
I'll be getting Ian Ferguson in a wee second.
Get your say.
Morelos and Brown continuing their exchanges. It's Callum McGregor to float this in towards Duffy, but he's offside. The flag is up.
And Brown and Morelos. Why is Morelos just even lifting his hand up there?
Been a route back.
I mean, what a chance
Hi.
for Celtic.
Fergie.
Can you hear me?
Perfect.
Yes.
You've got to go live in 2 seconds, mate, alright?
That's us, guys.
pal.
That's us live.
Us, guys, live to Ian Ferguson, the most decorated Rangers player, modern day history. 9 in a row legend. How's things in Australia, mate?
Aye, good pal, good, enjoying it.
Aye,
Good.
Thanks for staying up, because it's about 4 o'clock in the morning there, now, isn't it?
Aye, it's early doors, mate, aye. I'm up early anyway, pal. I had a couple of things I had to get done, so it wasn't a problem.
Good.
Straight to the point, Fergie. As a Rangers supporter and a Rangers player, have you ever seen Rangers being so comfortable at Parkhead?
Mate, look, there's been obviously loads of games I've been involved in, but that was one of the, again, looking from the outside, it was one of the most comfortable games that I've seen, and I thought Rangers dominated from start to finish.
And as regard to the performance, obviously there were stories about teams getting leaked and all that. Rangers were a professional performance for all round, and I don't think you can use excuses in an Old Firm game. Basically, the best team will always win it.
Mate, I don't know how many times we went into games and were expected to steamroll Celtic and vice versa, Celtic steamroll us. You can never ever predict an Old Firm game. Unfortunately for us, when I played at the time, we came out a lot winners rather than losers. So yeah, I don't think you can ever predict, no matter what team you put out there. You know, I'm hearing people shouting the Celtic reserves. You know, when you look at the amount of money that they paid for so-called reserve players, then you know that's bad judgment on their part. So yeah, but to say that they're easy games, they're never any easy games. They're always difficult games, regardless of who's playing, what personnel's playing. So yeah, that was a great result for us.
That was one of the points I was making just before we got you on there, Fergie, was the fact that the media's making out that Celtic didn't turn up, but my opinion is Rangers didn't allow it to turn up. Rangers had a game plan, and they stuck to it and it worked.
I wouldn't worry too much about the media side. I think the media, I think we know where their feelings lie. At the end of the day, we're, I think people do say, no one likes us, we don't care. So at the end of the day, we've got to go out there and perform for us, because we know that Scotland, a lot of Scotland is against us. So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about the media, mate.
Aye, no, correct. And in regards to the Rangers team, I've just named the full team there that Rangers, the amount of players that Rangers have got as a squad now, I think that's a big difference. They've got a better squad rather than a better team.
Absolutely, and I think the great thing that Gers doing is he's getting 2 players for each sport, which I think is great, and it drives competition. And I think the quality of player that he's bringing in is far better, which is good. So yeah, there's definitely you can see it. You can the way they're playing at the moment, playing with confidence. And I think you can see it in training, for what I'm gathering as well, that there's competition within the group, which has been good for the first time in a long time. I think there was players last year that were probably getting games and probably didn't deserve to play. But Stephen's got players now that at his disposal that if somebody's not doing it, he'll whip them off and he'll put them on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things is nobody likes to be subbed in. They always want to play for free football, obviously, but it seems to me when the players are coming off or the ones on the bench, however, everybody's bought into the squad. Everybody's behind it.
Well, I think a big thing for a sub sitting there, as you said, nobody likes it. At the end of the day, there can only be 11 starting and 10 outfield players. But at the end of the day as well, for a sub to come on, he's got to make an impact and come in and try and change the game. Or, that's the reason he's going on, or try and throw the game up. And, that's what the manager will be looking for. He'll be looking for a player that comes on and gives him that impact. And I think the subs, this season have been doing that, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, a few people were commenting on the fact that Hadji might be a wee bit lightweight. I think it's a case of, in my opinion, with the boy Hadji is that certain games he'll be a great Rangers player. But I think Gerard got the team bang on. Even with Barker, I think they got it right.
Yeah, look, there was a lot of things going on. I think people were expecting Jones to play as well, and you can't argue with the result. The result was great, the performance was great. So you've got to say, look, you got it correct, and we've got to applaud him for that, because there's obviously a lot of boys there that want to be in the team and aren't in the team. As I said before, that just drives the intensity at training. That drives the whole place, which is great. We've not had that for a long, long time, and I can only see us going up and up.
Somebody's asked on the feed there, how much would you love to be playing the day to put Brown in his place?
Look, different eras, different times. Look, whether I like him, love him, hate him. Like him, love him, hate him. He does a good job for Celtic, and look, I come up against guys like Peter Grant and guys like John Collins and Paul McStay. I mean personally think they're probably better players than what Brown is at the moment. But at the end of the day, it's different eras, different times, and he does a good job for Celtic. Whether you like him or you hate him.
I know.
Fergie, you missed it the other day there. I think it was yesterday on Talk Sport. I don't think you'd have heard it. There was an incident in the Merseyside derby where Van Dijk got injured, and Souness was talking about bad tackles and things like that, and somebody had to remind him that Souness wasn't too shy with a tackle himself.
I was on probably the end of some of them in training, and I'm sure Durante was as well. He can vouch for one or two. Graham was no shrinking violet, but at the end of the day, he put himself about, and that was a big part of his game. Was his physicality. And look, I seen the Van Dijk thing and I seen the interview, and I sort of had a little chuckle to myself.
And what's your memories? You see like with yourself for the build up to the Old Firm game and all that. I mean, this would have been a different one with no fans obviously at it, but that affects the two teams.
Yeah. Mate, look, my memories of those games they were special games. They were fantastic. I loved playing in them. If you didn't want to be involved in that sort of cauldron, if that's the best way of describing it, then you shouldn't be playing for Rangers. The feelings that you get are the anxiety, nervousness, excitement, euphoria, everything all rolled into one. It's just hard to put your finger on, but I certainly enjoyed them, and they were great occasions, and I think we won a lot more than what we lost, especially during that 9-0 period.
Aye, great times. A couple of people asking a couple of questions, you want to?
People used to think that, I'm like,
people
used to think I was an alcoholic, but I only ever drank when we won the trophy.
Your famous quote.
I only won. I think I won about 18. I think winners' medals at Ibrox, which was is fantastic time. So look, I did say that. I did come out and say that on TV that and I never even drunk at the time. They were great times.
And you're making up for that now with a drink.
Absolutely. Look, we're having a good time. Look, when you've got the sunshine out here and the weather, and you're out in your back, it's easy. It's easy to get caught up in it. Just lying there relaxing and having a nice time and listening to some music and with a vodka in your hand. It's good.
What are you doing yourself anyway?
I'm actually involved with a wee team called Quins. A wee local team. We won the second division last year, and we're in the first division this year. There was no promotion or relegation. It was just actually good for us getting in there to get a feel of it and see what's obviously around the corner for next season. So we've been working hard on that, which is great. So we're putting hopefully trying to build a little team that can be challenging for the first division next year.
One of my pals, Brian Newell's, asked me a question right now. I know Arthur Newman always talks about stories about going to basically going to Park Heather, Hampden, and you were terrified if you saw a magpie. Did you ever? One of the boys is asking Brian, did you get the fear that the fans had before the game, or were you hyped up?
Did I get it?
Aye.
Look, as I said before, there was always a nervousness and an excitement. When you were getting into these games, and I believe we could win every game, no matter who it was, whether it was Celtic, Leeds United, or Borussia Dortmund. I believe that the squad that we had would compete and could challenge anybody. And the excitement that we had, as I just mentioned there, I think Steven Gerrard's getting that in his dressing room. You can see even when the players scored the goal, the excitement and everybody congratulating each other. It just looks so good. We're miles ahead of where we were a year and a half ago, which is great. So I'm pleased with the way the squad's developing, and I'm pleased with where we're sitting at the moment in the league. And the big test is going to come. Look, it's early doors. We shouldn't get carried away. It's early doors yet, and I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer here, but the last 2 years we've let ourselves down when it comes to Christmas time. So we've got to make sure that. And again,
next week it marks no a joke beating Celtic.
Absolutely, and that's what I said to my mates right here. I said, look, the big question now is, can we go out and I think we've done it last year. We beat them at Parkhead, and then we go and get steamrolled with, I think it was Kilmarnock.
That's right, aye.
At Rugby Park, and and it meant nothing, that victory. We're all jumping up and down and getting excited, and sometimes we've got a good way of kicking us between the legs and bringing us back down to earth. Yep. So hopefully we can carry on and get the 3 points the next game.
Aye, I know you're a busy man. I know it's early doors. I've got 3 more questions if it's all right for people watching.
That's all right.
The question is, can you ask him who he thinks is our greatest prospect in the youth?
I've been away for a long time. I couldn't even comment on anything like that. I've been away for 18 years now, and I very rarely come home. I've been home once or twice, but I did hear a lot of stuff about the young boy, and I know he's gone now. The young boy Gilmer, I heard he was something special, but that's the only one that I've heard of. And look, probably the best person to ask about that is Robbie Ferguson. He goes to every single game, I think, with the youth team.
I meet Robbie quite a lot. He does a lot of stuff for the Gers TV as well.
Yeah.
They're the ladies team and all, they won 5-1 there. The ladies are doing well as well.
Aye, this season it's just started again. They're doing well.
Yeah, I seen that. Was it against Hearts? Was it Hearts they were playing us?
Yeah,
I seen that in the. Yeah, good result.
Yep. Aye. What else have we got? Any more questions there?
That was at the end. There was one about I don't know where it went to now. There it's there. Is Fergie quite close to Craig Moore as he's out in Australia?
Craig's away. He's the other side of the country. He's in Queensland and I'm in Perth. We're totally opposite sides of the country. So if I had to go and meet Craig for a pint, it would take me about 5 hours on a flight.
but saying that, you did get to meet. So I know just because obviously I know yourself, you did get to meet a lot of the Rangers supporters still, and you've got a lot of connections with the supporters clubs locally, be you?
Yeah, look, I'm involved with one or two of the clubs over here. We've got a Rangers Supporters Club. It's in Leaderville in Perth, and then we've got the Rockingham Rangers Supporters Club. Down south. I'm actually going to their Christmas party on the 28th of November. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, and also still see some players, keep in touch with players. Big Dave Mitchell, Stuart Monroe, Craig Moore, Vidmar. They're all out here as well. So yeah, it's good to keep in touch and reminisce and I give him a bit of stick now and again.
Aye. No, I mean, it's fantastic that the players still keep together and they're still, it's all saying in it, once a Ranger's always a Ranger.
That's it.
I think that's all right. Is there any more comments on it?
That was it.
Just one more thing before you finish, Fergie. The European, Steven Gerrard certainly nailed it when it comes to European football. What do you think of the group that Rangers are in, and do you think they'll get out of it?
Look, he's done a fantastic job. He's got a fantastic record in Europe. He's got his, through the qualifiers, I think, since he's been there. And look, again, you could never say never with this man, because he's obviously got a wealth of experience now, building up, being with Rangers, and also playing in Europe, and also being obviously with Liverpool and things like that. So he's got a great pedigree, and they believe in him absolutely. I think he's done a fantastic job over the last few years, and as I said before, the quality that he's brought in, and let's be honest, it's a lot better than what Mark Robinson had and the other boy, what was his name, Pedro. It's far better, and that's no disrespect to the other players. I just, you can see it's night and day. And you can see the turnaround, what they're doing. But look, we're still not winning any cups. That's more important. We've got to get silverware on the table soon. That's what Rangers are all about.
Do you think that'll change? Do you think if Rangers win? Because I think the League Cup's massive for Rangers for the simple reason, like you just said, we need to become winners. It's all right winning games, but you need to win trophies, and that's you guys. You've won more or less every trophy you played for. You get that mentality.
Yeah, look, it was a great squad, and as you said, it was a squad that never. I always remember Donald Finlay saying it was a squad that never knew when they were beat. We kept going. If somebody scored 2, we'd score 3. You know, we had that belief, and and not only was we had that belief. When you look at the squad, you know, like guys like John Brown, guys like McCoy, Haitley, you know, Durant. You know, they were all winners. McCall, they wanted to win. Gorham, you know, and it's endless. It goes on. Goff, the list is endless. Are players that just had that desire, that hunger, that determination, and the will to win for the club, and so passionate about the club as well. You know, that's what we want our players to be like, and I hope he's drumming that into them. That's the type of player we need.
In the last couple of months as well, Walter Smith's been seeing it, Auchenhowie as well, and he's been doing it, obviously trying to give some words of advice to Gerard. They reckon still to this day that the young players are terrified for Walter. Just his presence.
Walter, mate, was great. Look, Walter was, for me, brilliant with his man management skills in regards to players and so on. You know, for me, he knew how to get the best out of people. And look, Walter could be a tough cookie when he wanted to be. But as I said, I think he had great man management skills with a lot of people, and that's respect, I think, for people, which is great. So, yeah, I think that'll never leave Walter. Never.
Ian, can I ask you, who'd be your man of the match there at the weekend?
Oh, Kamara, without a doubt. Fantastic, outstanding. For me, best player in the park. His technical ability is second to none. You know, to me, he ran the show. To me, he was a difference. That I would say that there was a lot of players, to be honest, that made the difference. You know, but he was, for me, was one that stood out. Especially
for the price, 50 grand. Fergie, there's a quick question somebody's asked you, right? I was going to actually ask you about it anyway. I asked you about it before, but we're having a bevy and you never actually answered me. Right, it was the last time I seen you. And I believe it was Mo Johnson's debut at Ibrox, right? Rangers versus Spurs. So the boys, I can't see the guy's name. Is it Raymond Lavery, I think his name is. He's asking me, can you remember the game? Obviously, you played against Spurs and you were man of the match, but you played it up against Gaza. And I remember at the time, Gaza, with the recent comment, he was saying, he basically said they made you a star overnight, but you were outstanding that day.
Yeah, like great time. And again, it was I was just trying to get into the Rangers team. I think at that point, you know, Graham had brought in again some big signings, and you're getting an opportunity. And I think for me, you know, that was the start of you know, the Rangers, us basically winning, and you know, we showed that day in a friendly that we weren't going to be messed about. And for me, it was a fantastic day. And you know what, I had my spat with Gaza. You know, we had our ups and downs, but by God, what a player he was! What an absolute talent! And just to be in the same park as him and up against him was an absolute pleasure. But yeah, look, it was good. I really enjoyed it. But I'm sure if I had another 10 games against Gaza, I'm sure I might not get another one the way that I had against Spurs.
Fair enough, but I remember the game and you were outstanding, to be fair. And then we signed Gaza, and Gaza was absolutely outstanding. To get Gascoigne playing with Rangers, I remember my dad used to always say the old day. Every week we'd say, every time you watch a Rangers player, but he's no Jim Baxter, And in the Euro 90, my dad saying, Gascoigne is the nearest thing you'll ever see Baxter. So for signing for Rangers, it was a touch of genius for Walter Smith.
Definitely.
It was a brilliant signing, you know, again, what he brought, and I think himself, you know, what he brought in the park, and I think on himself what he said was, it's probably the best time that he's ever had in football. And, you know, he never ever says a bad word about Rangers. I've never heard him say anything bad. It was a great group of guys all playing for the club at the same time. Absolutely, and you know, he was obviously, him and Brian were the linchpins, and Coisty and these guys. But there was goals that could come from everywhere. You know, Gascoigne could score them, Durant could score them, Haitley could score them, Laudrup could score them, McCoy could score them. So we had a great bunch of boys that would go in with it hurted and put their heads in, and they'd always nick you a goal here or there.
John Brown used to tell me some great stories about when you were training, that Walter and kind of Souness, but then Walter were both into the fact that training or no training, let's have a wee square go here and get tore into each other.
Well, there was Scotland-England games. You know, I don't know if you've heard about them. I told you about them, but there was Scotland v England, and we used to batter them every single week. And it got that way where there was always fights. It got that way where there was always fights, or a big butcher and want to launch somebody, or Souness, because he used to go into the English team. He wanted to launch a few people now and again. So yeah, there was always ding dongs. There was always fisticuffs on a Friday afternoon. No doubt about that.
Brilliant. Any more? Is that us?
That's us.
Fergie, I know it's early doors there. I appreciate it, mate, for phoning.
Thanks for calling us.
No problem. Just put the money in the mail for me if you don't mind.
No worries,
Pay my
mate.
phone
Send
bill.
it out as soon as possible.
Maybe a lot. We'll see you back in Scotland
Alright.
in the sunny east end of Glasgow the next couple of years again up at Bristol or whatever, the Loudon.
Well, you all stay safe and stay away
too.
for this coronavirus, and I hope you get out of lockdown soon. All the best.
Brilliant, Fergie.
Right,
Take
good.
care.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for calling. Thanks.
No problem. Cheers,
Right,
pal. Bye.
bye.
There you go. Where do you go
There
with
we
that?
go.
The most decorated Rangers player, modern day history.
He was a good player, yeah.
Played in the biggest games. Played in. Do you know what?
He's away in his bed now.
Dominating against a guy like Paul Gascoigne, then becoming his pal. 9 in a row. Stayed in Barrowfield. Stayed in Barrowfield just round the corner for the Piggery. Grew up a Rangers fan. Gets to play for the club.
I know.
And he still keeps his links to this day. I get the odd text from 4 or 5 in the morning, him and a few of the boys for Australia, I know.
Some time difference for the winter now.
Oh, aye. I mean, they phoned me up one day, they were on the bevy, having a chat with us, and I'm like, see by here's you know, I was as crab, I'm like that. He's man, and I'm like that, we're having a swally, slagging me for having 2 chins, man.
It
So
was
I'm
a
like,
great weekend in order to bring out your merchandise.
aye,
It's
do
been
you want to
doing
give me a
well.
quick chat on it?
Aye. The Bears Den, guys, there's a pinned, Williams pinned it on the feed. It's the Bears Den. You can get the Gers TV merchandise. It's gone absolutely well. I can't.
And it's
really
simple enough, if you want to buy it, all you do is click
just
and order.
click and buy. They take today with everything, and that's it. The whole company take today with all the orders. Get it out to you guys as soon as, and it's really doing well. I'm delighted with
You
it.
order it 1 week, we get it 6 months later.
And MD that's ordered a mask due to the Old Firm game. They're getting posted this morning. They were delayed in postage because he had a 3-day hangover.
Sue Ellen. That's for anybody that's
Oh
old enough
my
to remember
goodness.
Dallas.
Oh no, but they're all getting sent out this morning. So if you're waiting a mask, it gets posted this morning.
But guys, give your memories of Ian Ferguson as well. He's on the show. He's phoned up the show a couple of times now. It's 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning earlier. I'm maybe 6 now. He phones up. The guy's so passionate about Rangers, and when he comes over, he knew he has a drink, but he didn't used to have a drink, so he's making up for it.
Aye,
Let's
good.
hear memories of Fergie as well.
Good.
It'd be good to get more people like that on the show in the future.
Right, also the sponsor for the show is Crafts Works in Northern Ireland.
Aye, we've got a wee video with them as
Yeah,
well.
we had the wee video
We've
on.
Now they make small.
Lest we forget.
Aye, is it a kind of
It's
remembrance?
remembrance, and it is a Tommy. I think it's the figure, isn't it?
Aye, what do you call them?
There's Tommy's, isn't there?
Aye.
I'm glad there.
I'm not wanting to see the wrong thing when I see small toys for adults to play with.
Oh, the clicks on now.
We've got the link on the Facebook anyway, and on our page. And if anybody
There, we're going to play the wee video again for Crafts
quickly play
Works
it like
Northern
you say.
Ireland.
Crafts
Like,
Works. So there you go. So it's a great wee company, and basically it's all kind of armed forces and remembering stuff.
I'm sure the guy's name's Gary Taylor.
Gary Taylor.
And it's
he's on my page, so if anybody's
Trafalgar,
interested,
Northern Ireland.
aye, even Gary, if you're watching it now, I remember he did see his missus as boss, so
That's
one of the
right.
two of them will reply.
Woman's always the boss.
And he contacted us last week. He wanted to get involved with it. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, Rangers supporters love all that stuff. Contact him, and I'm sure he'll be able to get you a wee deal. Some of his craft works that he does. It's Craftsworks Northern Ireland, and he's a sponsor of the show tonight. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Much appreciated, and it just helps us get the wee bits and bobs to keep the channel going.
Yep.
What else have we got there? So we're getting the European game as well.
Lotto,
Right,
guys.
Lotto.
If you want to join the Rangers lottery, you can message me the page and I'll get the forums out you guys. And the money also goes back into the Rangers Academy. It goes back into your football club. So if you want to join the Rangers Lotto, it's only £1 a week. Message the page and I'll get the form out to you guys. So that's that one done. And the masks. We have Rangers masks.
Right, aye, so let's go through them. We've got two
Gers
masks for anybody
TVs.
that's two-faced. Right,
Yes.
so right, that's me right away, right, I want two. Right, so you get a blue mask and you get a white mask.
Yes, you get a blue mask, it's a Rangers mask, and you have the Gers TV, which is a white mask.
And you can buy two in a special offer.
You can buy two in a special offer for a tenner.
We sent one out to New Zealand, did I? In fact, I think we'll send one out to Fergie. We'll send one out for phoning up midnight.
Yeah.
We'll send them one there.
Right, okay.
We'll get his
Right,
address.
they're £6 each, guys, but if you buy the Gers TV and the Rangers one together, they're £10. So...
And we want photos, anybody still getting photos coming in for loads of places?
Well, that's the Rangers ones just getting sent out there because, as I say, it was a wee bit of a delay.
we didn't expect to get them. That was a last minute offer we got.
Yes.
And it's top quality. The two of them are top quality. A lot of people have commented on the quality of them.
Yep.
So guys, if you're interested in the masks, you can get them on the channel. You get a chance to buy them. They're all over page, so there's easy enough to buy. And send us the photos in as well.
The Bears Den has got their merchandise, and that's really doing well. I'm really pleased at how well that's took off.
Aye, it's just a new venture for us. And the Bears Den page, they do all the work, to be fair, and it's great quality. So we're basically just working in partnership with them. The other thing as well I was going to say was we've not had a thing this week as anybody with the bear huts, but we're still interested in them.
Yes.
If you've got a bear hut,
I think because of COVID and all, it's kind of delayed things a wee bit.
I think an old firm game, everybody build up for that.
I was ready for going to your house, John Ramsey, on Saturday.
Aye, well, we need to speak to me anyway.
33.
Aye, because we've got a few ideas and we're going to go and see them.
Yep.
And different people with the Rangers bars as well with that.
There's the masks.
There's the masks up there.
There you go, guys. The masks are on the screen.
So you've got the blue, white, red ones and the red, white and blue ones. So Gers TV masks.
Yes.
Special offer to be buy two.
There we go. How good are they?
Right. Talking about European football now for a wee bit.
Well, it's Thursday.
Thursday
European
night.
game.
Rangers are away.
Belgium.
For anybody that doesn't know, right, let me get the time right here. I think it's 5:55. I've got it on the page. 5:55, so it's just before 6 o'clock, but it's no 6 o'clock. Weird time to have a game of football, but do you know what? Rangers will be ready for it. And I'm pretty sure that the team will be up for it. And that's a hard group we're in, I think, but it's a group that Rangers are more than capable of winning. And I think that Rangers are going to... I've made my prediction already, but I think Rangers will hold their own again. It's just about keep winning now.
Yeah.
If Rangers win every game for the next 6 weeks 1-0, I'm delighted.
So no, aye. I think everybody would be the same.
We'll see the players that we just mentioned. Rangers could put that team out.
Yeah, that's a whole second team, isn't it?
Right, but think about it, we could actually put that team out. Nobody would be that angry.
And I've got two for every position now.
Because Big Roof's got a lot to prove. Itton's definitely things to prove, and he showed he can score. Defoe, goal scorer, Bassey. I mean, Rangers' squad just now is really impressive. Loads of messages. Let's check the messages.
There we go. John Ramsey loves his masks. Thanks for coming to meet me. No problem, John. I didn't know what you drove, but I just followed the music. Great show, guys.
Somebody just mentioned the fact that Ian Ferguson stayed right across the road for the piggery. Literally right across the road for it.
Definitely. Would like Steve McCormick, message the page and I'll get them out to you.
Yep, and we'll get you at the end of the show.
I'll get you at the end of the show and I'll get them out to you. Absolutely amazing hearing the legend Fergie. Thanks, guys. That was David Grant. John Kiernan. Why is my screen freezing up? It's no me, John.
No, it's not us.
No me. Moffat, the best Fergie. Stephen Moffat.
I'll get this call lined up the next one.
Mark Dunnett, brilliant call. Donna Robertson, hello Donna, how you doing? I hope your cousin's wife's watching. Leanne Orr, I seen her on Facebook. She was good. I liked her. Where are we? Jim Newlands, that mob are on the side. Oh, the slide. I thought it said the side. There's my glasses for you. That on the slide.
Just a quick one, Sandra, just whilst you're doing that, right?
Yeah.
We're going to get a phone call in a minute, right? It's a really important phone call, and it's regarding a matter. It's the biggest story in Scottish football today.
Scottish football.
I love it. The guys asked for a bit of support, and we said we'd help them out.
Yep.
Just, guys, see when we get this phone call in a few minutes' time, see regarding any legal cases that are taking place in Scotland, and now please don't write anything about it on the page. So you'll hear the boy talking about it, and we're going to give him some support.
Yep.
But we're just looking for if there's anything today that you think involves any legal cases that are taking place in Scotland, don't write any comments on it because we'll need to delete you right away if you do.
We're only giving this guy a platform to get his story told, guys.
Aye, he put the story out today. It's a massive story.
Yep.
I spoke to him a few months ago and he asked us if we could help get the word out because parts of Scottish football's had the story. They've got Scottish government, the media. They've all stopped the guy from speaking. So we're going to. It's basically it's a scandal, and we're going to get Gordon Woods on in a few minutes, and he's going to tell his story. His story is his case hasn't went live in the court, so he can speak about it, and nothing that he's going to say to us will prejudice any cases. So he can talk about what he wants. But what I'm saying there, if anybody mentions any other cases or anything like that, please don't do that.
We'll need to delete the comments, guys, if it's anything said.
Guys, and a reminder, like, share, and keep it going. So the Gers TV, we've just said Rangers 9 in a row legend on Ian Ferguson.
Yep. And now you're ready for the big scandal.
We'll get the story in a few minutes' time. He's just going to call us in. And remember, guys, anybody's getting a bear huts or anything like that and you want to get involved in, let us know and we can get you on the show. We'll film it or whatever else. European football, guys, let us know your predictions. What's your prediction for the big game?
It's Belgium. On
Thursday, 5 to 6 kick-off. You can't watch it in the pub. Where are you watching it? Everybody's going to have to watch it in the house.
I know.
Well, you're meant to watch it in the house, but did anybody actually watch you for him in one house? And I did just to clear it up, I didn't actually go to Blackpool, right? About 1 million people think I was in the Catholic club in Blackpool. I know! Because my pal Bobby Merritt phoned me up and he said to me, kid, on to the SNP, you were on Blackpool and tag away. So I started getting carried away, saying I was in to see the monkeys. And then I said,
Blackpool Zoo.
And then I said I was at the Tower, and then I said it was at the Catholic club, and everybody's like, oh, sorry, you've changed. I was actually in Tollcross.
Oh dear. Hello, Jimmy Payton, Belfast, how are you doing?
Aye, let us know if you're all watching for you as well.
I read today a long story, said Kenneth Young. Where did you read it, Kenneth?
I think it was in the Guardian.
Was it?
I think I didn't. I don't know if there was more than one. I'm just going to send them a text. I actually made a text. So we're just going to get this wee call just to give the man a platform. He's been trying to get a platform over Britain, and he's struggling for it. Gers
TV will give him a platform.
That's a story that needs to get told. And mugs as well. If anybody's looking for the mugs, we did decide with the mugs.
There we go, £10.
£10, anybody wants a Gers TV mug. You can drink beer in it, and nobody knows you're drinking beer, and you can drink vodka in it,
or you can drink water.
Or it could be green tea, or all the healthy stuff, you never know. There's the phone call coming in now, that's us.
That's us.
Hello, Gordon.
Speaking.
How you doing, mate? It's Si here. I've obviously got Sandra, and I've got William here on the show as well.
There.
Hello, how you doing?
Brilliant. Gordon, what it is I've said to everyone on all the viewers, we're going to give you a chance to air your views on the platform on our platform today. I know you've struggled a wee bit to get your story out, but you basically ran a major story today, is that correct?
Aye, we did. Basically what it was, the story's been out there before, Si.
Yeah.
But it was put out over the last year with the Daily Record. But the problem was that the Daily Record, as with all the Scottish media, they print a story and then they forget all about everything for months and months. Then they'll print another wee story and then they forget everything. And what we needed was a major UK newspaper to grab a hold of this and run with it.
Yep.
And we contacted most of the the media in the UK, and it was the Guardian who came forward and said, we'll run it. Now, it wasn't an easy thing to do because it took us 9 months between first discussing it with the Guardian before they printed it today. It was a 9-month negotiation. But the reason it was important was because it's important for the whole of the UK to know what's going on just now in Scottish football. And as I said in a previous radio programme, it's not just about the victims of the past. That's happened, that is in the past, but it has to be addressed. It has to be acknowledged by people who were responsible for it. Because until we can get that acknowledgement and those apologies, we can't be sure that children in the future are going to be safe.
They're going to be safe.
Of course, great point.
Yep.
And, I know a lot of people think it's not a football scenario, this. It shouldn't be discussed on football channels. I can assure you it is a football thing because...
Definitely.
A lot of the young kids, that's all they wanted to do. They were 12 and 13 years old and all they wanted to do was play football. And can I just say at this point, because I think it's important to say this, and Sandra, I know this is Gers TV, but this isn't a Rangers or Celtic thing as far as I'm concerned. I'm against child abuse.
That's right, it's any club.
Yeah.
Any club.
As I said to you at the time, Gordon, I know you were looking for a platform. I said if there's any way we could put your word out there, we'd be happy for that to help
exactly, and that's what I'm looking for. But the point I'm making is that yes, at the moment I'm on the Gers TV platform, but if, for instance, a Celtic podcast wanted me to give an interview with them, I'm willing to do it.
Yeah,
of course, yeah,
I'm willing to do it.
A bit like the backlash been for it. Are you getting support, or are you getting? You must be getting people contacting you regarding it.
Not as much as I would have liked. I mean, I came forward a year ago now. It was in fact, it was October 28th. It was the day after my daughter's birthday that the story broke in the Daily Record. So that's been over a year. And in that year, I would say the Daily Record have been good to me because they've ran 3 stories. They've ran the story initially, and then they ran the story about the photograph that surfaced. I didn't have that photograph of me with the Celtic board. That surfaced on Twitter.
Right.
And I couldn't believe that this photograph had turned up, and there was me sitting standing in the very front with Jim Torbett and Jock Stein, Bob Kelly, Billy McNeil, and they ran that story. And then, of course, they've ran the story about the book I've written.
Yeah.
So they've been good to me as far as that's concerned. But you know something, Sandra? Not one other Scottish media has made a contact with me. Not one.
Outrageous.
You know,
everybody's want to just keep sweeping it away as if it didn't happen.
Well, see, what they're doing is, and I actually got on to one of the journalists and I says, who do you think you are, you know? Because the Daily Record ran a story for me and they printed it, and the next day, the Scottish Sun are printing the same story. And I said, you never asked me to print that story.
Yeah.
They just lifted it off the record. Now, I would have thought that any investigative journalist would have had the decency to contact me and say, Gordon, tell us a wee bit about this, you know, or even put a slightly different slant on it, you know.
Gordon, what's it? Like that, obviously, this is 50 years. This has played on your mind and everything else, and it takes a lot of courage to come out and do what you're doing. Ultimately, what is it you're looking for? Is there going to be more court cases regarding this, or is there going to be more names, or what?
What do you want the outcome to be of this?
Well, when I first came forward a year ago, I asked my legal team to write to Celtic Football Club and say to them, look, Mr. Woods wants an apology, he wants a face-to-face meeting, he wants an apology, he wants an acceptance that you were responsible, and he wants £1 million donated to a local charity.
Yeah. What was it? What did you get?
Get no reply. Now, that was time limited. That offer's now off the table.
Yeah.
Because I want to go to court now. And even if I was offered an NDA tomorrow morning, it's not going to be signed. I want to go into a court of law because it's imperative, I feel, that other abused children who haven't come forward and who possibly need emotional support, they need to see in a court of law and get the justice officially, not just an NDA that's signed and everything's forgotten about. That's not the issue. That's not the answer to this.
No, I mean, I agree with you. It's been the very fact that it's been covered up. It makes it worse to me. This could have been at least it could have been engaged over the last 10 years ago. And if it was engaged, you can then try and move forward. But how do you move forward when it's been basically kept quiet and covered?
Well, you see, for 50 years, I ignored it. I used to read articles in the paper, and I would open a newspaper and I would turn a page and there'd be an article about child abuse somewhere, and I would just turn the page. I didn't get involved in any of it. I couldn't read it. I didn't want to read it. But it was only the last couple of years I have started reading it. The first thing that caught my attention was the death of Andrew Gray. That caught my attention there, that poor man had suffered the way he suffered and he died before he seen justice. And I began to think, there's hundreds maybe of wee boys out there, and wee girls, by the way, who were abused in other facilities. But obviously I can only talk about wee boys in football because that's all I know. Yeah. But there must be hundreds of wee kids that haven't seen justice. And I just felt it was time I because I had some information that when I first phoned Thompson's, and I spoke to him, I says, look, this is what I know about the late 60s. And some of the things I told them, they had known nothing about it prior. They knew nothing about it. And when I first told them these couple of scenarios, they said, well, you're a PC Gordon, we have to check on this. So they went away and they checked up my story. They looked back in history books, whatever, and the Daily Record assisted them. And the Daily Record and Thompson come back and said, every single thing you've told us has been corroborated.
So
fair play to you for speaking up about this.
Yeah, Gordon, so you mentioned the fact that you've got a book coming out, is that right?
Aye. It's just about finished. I've got a chapter to finish, and the chapter's about justice, but I've not got justice yet. So
I know. Well, maybe a while before you get that. Actually,
50 years with no justice.
I know, you're a long time.
Unfortunately, I've been asked by Police Scotland just now to hold on a little bit, because there are charges, and I obviously can't mention the individual's name, but the individual who abused me when I played for Celtic Boys Club, there are possibly going to be charges
in the future,
in the very near future. So if that was to happen, I would have to put my book on hold.
That's understandable,
I can't name him Wales's legal challenge. And the last thing I want to do is influence that in any way whatsoever.
Yep.
Of course. So you need to play the game. Basically.
Any help that we can give you in the future, please ask us.
I appreciate that. I certainly do. And as I say, it is important that we get the support. And listen, I know there's been talk about the abuse we take on social media and all the rest of it. Behind the scenes, I get a lot of messages from Celtic supporters. A lot of messages, supportive messages saying, look, Gordon, I'm a Celtic supporter. Don't mention my name, but I wish you all the best. They're out there. There's a tremendous amount of Celtic supporters too. Because bearing in mind, this happened to Celtic supporters.
I know.
Most of these young lads were Celtic supporters at one point.
Well, we've got a feed in front of us now, Gordon. I know you can't see it, but every single person is a Rangers fan, and they've got nothing but nice things to say to you here. So you've got a lot of backing for the Rangers fans there.
I know, and I know that the vast majority of them isn't point scoring. Anybody who's got a moral compass doesn't use
definitely.
Point scoring. Nothing to do with point
that shouldn't
scoring.
be happening to children. Any club.
Anywhere in the world.
The only point scoring that gets done is the individual who accuses somebody else of point scoring. That's where the point scoring comes in.
Trying to cover things up. But Gordon, listen, mate, it's a fantastic call. As I said, if we could help you when I first spoke to you, if we can ever help you, and Sanders mentioned in the future,
any
definitely.
Help we can give you in the future, let us know.
When you get the book out, if you let us know, and we'll highlight it on the show.
And I hope you get what you're looking for there, Gordon. I hope you get your justice that you're looking for.
We will get it. It's going to take a wee bit longer maybe than people think, but
good for you. Good for you for standing up and saying what you've said.
Definitely, aye. Good luck. 50 years after.
It was good hearing for you, Gordon.
Gordon, fantastic.
Keep in touch.
I appreciate your time. Take care now, okay?
You too. Keep in touch.
Thank you very much, mate.
Right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, there you
go,
guys.
But I did say, at the start of the show, we chat about it, and I'd say, he spoke to me, Gordon, he was looking for a bit of support. I could see he wasn't getting a lot of support from the media, and I said, we'll highlight, we'll give him a chance to speak. Well, justice should be prevailing eventually.
And I'm all glad that was all good comments, guys, because it doesn't matter what club it is, that shouldn't be happening anywhere.
And that's what I said earlier on.
That should not be happening anywhere.
And don't print any names or anything like that, it's just for legal reasons. We don't want to be banning people for the show or anything like that, but we need to make sure that we protect the story. Guys, so that was Gordon Woods, and he's going to bring a book out in a few months' time. It'd be interesting reading. It just shows you about what happens in Scottish football teams and Scottish media, that there is an influence out there that basically wants to protect certain clubs and certain ways of life.
It shouldn't be happening, man.
It shows you in this day and age, you would think that it's like, if somebody told you that was 100 years ago, you would say, well, I don't get surprised by it, but it doesn't surprise me.
What surprises me is they've got these people standing up, speaking out, and still nothing's done about it. These people aren't telling lies,
50 years, but
these people aren't telling lies.
He said that there's going to be going to court very soon, so let's hope that this is the start.
I hope he gets what he's looking for, and it opens a whole can of worms for him.
Because I've been in his Facebook stuff for months now, on Twitter and that, and it's it's quite scary when you read it, but I know fair play him.
I'd murder if it was my weddings, I'm being
know.
honest.
Anyway, we'll move on now, guys. What else have we got?
There we go, that was it. That was just the European. We've got that Thursday night. It was a 5-1. The ladies done well. I mentioned that earlier. The Rangers ladies won 5-1 at Hearts, which is a great score for the ladies.
We're going to try and get more active with the
we're going to try and go
football.
See them.
Aye, we're going to try and do. We've not planned it yet, but we're thinking about trying to get more active with Rangers ladies team and try and give them a wee bit more support. The way we will try to do it with the youth team. It's hard now because of COVID-19, but we've always looked for projects and any way we can get involved with helping the club out. As well as that, there's so many things that we're talking about now in the background.
We've actually got so much going on, guys.
Aye, and big plans for the channel in the future as well. But the big thing was getting the sound right after a couple of months here. But I think we've nailed the sound.
We've nailed that now. That's down to William and Davey there.
Aye.
We've got all that fixed now. Can't blame size Mike now.
Aye, notice how I never move anymore. I still don't move. But no, we're just trying to up the game a wee bit at a time. Anybody's ever interested in sponsoring the show as well, it doesn't cost a lot of money and it gives you a wee plug for your channel, for your business or your charity or whatever it is.
Yep. We'll also be dealing, next week I'll need to be telling you about the treats for troops at Christmas time because I'm going to meet them tomorrow.
Did you get into the contact? Aye, so we'll get them on the show for
and we're going to be talking about them next week, so we'll get something done for their Christmas, for the troops for Christmas, right?
Aye, no, and that's a great
cause that
was Drumchapel, was
that's
he?
That's right, Drumchapel. It was Donna and Jean Maguire.
Yep. And if we can get I'm trying to see if there's anything else.
I'm sure it was Donna O'Donnell and Jean Maguire.
Aye, I seen you tagged them in the day.
Aye.
What else have we got?
That was it.
Aye, if anybody's want to call in, you've got 5 minutes. Warren, there's Warren. He's going to have a quick call.
Warren.
There he comes in it. Hello, Warren. How you doing, brother?
I do well. All right, guys. Sorry I wasn't on last week. I missed you. I got
Hello.
It was excellent. It was excellent. Well, first thing is, I have to say that guy Gordon, such a brave guy. What a campaign, and I hope everybody gets behind that campaign.
Yeah.
No matter what scarf we wear, no matter what, the abuse of children is just something which can't be accepted in any way. Yeah. And I have actually stopped watching my local football team for that very reason. Glentoran Football Club signed a player this year who is on the sex offenders register. I can't be seen to be going to the football to support that team anymore. So I'm not going to the games, and if anybody wants to criticise me, come on, we can say what they want. But I stand by my principles. As someone who's worked in care for 25 years, you know, I've seen the consequences of abuse. I really don't want to be involved in anything and giving people credence by going along and supporting them and clapping them and stuff. So so that's that. So
what about Ian Ferguson phoning?
Fergie was one of my favourite players. Loved him. Absolutely loved him. I remember the game, I think it was a semi-final against Hearts, and he and Derek Ferguson were and I remember the commentary because it was Archie McPherson, and he says the Fergusons combined for Glasgow Rangers, and it was a super goal. I remember it was
a super goal with the worst impersonation ever.
I know I'm not good. I'm not good at impersonation. I can do Big Paisley, but that's the only one I can do. So but no, I mean Fergie's just one of them guys. I mean, it's such you hear him on talking, such an interesting guy. I think all of the players that come on and talk, Gordon last week as well, just brilliant. You know, they're really, really interesting guys, and the stories they can tell. I think that's what a lot of Rangers fans don't actually get a chance to sit down and talk to these guys, and it's great that we can provide interviews and things like that where we get in touch with the players and talk about their memories, you know.
Yeah.
But it's actually for tomorrow. So tomorrow, the 21st of October, 1805, it's Trafalgar Day. So we all know Admiral Nelson standing there with his patch in his eye and his arm in his sleeve. He only had the one arm, you know. So the guy was an absolute legend. The people of the time, they couldn't believe that he was dead. So Trafalgar, basically, it's between the French and the Spanish on one side and the British on the other.
And it was the combination of months and months and months of campaigning by basically Nelson and the British establishment trying to get Napoleon and the French Navy out of the port. So Trafalgar, what happens is the French come out, the Spanish come out, and the British basically attack them. And Nelson, in a strange way, usually ships in those days, they lined up parallel to each other and they just blasted each other to pieces. But Nelson didn't. Nelson broke his ships up into small units, and then they attacked into the centre of each of them. And Nelson, being the man that he is, but like King William, but like all those great leaders of the past, he put himself in the front line. And there's talk that it might have been a friendly fire incident that killed him, or it might be a French sniper who was in the rigging in the top of one of the ships fired down and hit Nelson, and he was killed. And his body was brought back to England in a barrel of rum, and he was buried in London, and there was hundreds of thousands of people on the streets. But what Nelson had done at Trafalgar, yes, he had lost his life, but he had defeated the navy of Napoleon Bonaparte and the Spanish, and that basically gave the British the chance to hit back on the land. So there you go. That's your bit of history for this week.
Good.
Brilliant, Warren. No, fantastic. It's been a great week for us. It's been an absolutely fantastic
brilliant week, mate. I'm really looking forward to the European match. I think we have enough depth in the squad now to rotate the squad around, bring in a couple of players. I think Itten, or whatever you want to call him, I think he might be on. I don't know about Roof. I don't think he's fit yet still. But there's a load of players there. Hadji, of course, who could come on and give people a rest. And then we need to, as you said earlier on, we need to back up what we did at the weekend with another win against Livingston.
Yep, so, 1-0 wins now. As long as we don't lose goals, I'm happy.
I agree. And I think our back four at the minute are that solid that we don't look like we're going to give many goals away. I think Tav has been like a different player.
Golson's fantastic.
Golson's been like a different player. Hollander, outstanding. Barra, the guy's just brilliant. You know, like you can understand why Everton and teams like that were looking to try and bring him to England, because he's just outstanding. But the back four we have at the minute, barring any injuries, we have probably the best defence we've had for a while. When it comes to how solid they are, the movement off the ball, everything, we're just a unit. We're an absolute unit at the minute, and I can't see many beating us. And I think 55 is coming.
Aye. No, I agree with you. Good times ahead, Warren. Good times ahead.
Yes, Lord. As I say, it's great and we'll have great ideas, and hopefully everybody jumps on board with all the new ideas that we have at Gers TV and everything. We're going into 2021. We're going to have a whole new year.
And we're heading for 150 years of the famous Glasgow Rangers as well.
Yep.
So it's all big things happening.
So many big things happening, and I'm going to be involved in a lot in Scotland as well, because a lot of the Orange events going to be happening in Scotland, and of course here in Northern Ireland we have.
I'm telling you, see that outfit you've got. We should sell King Billy pyjamas. I'll tell you, we've made a fortune.
Well, as I say, we have such a big year in front of us too here in Northern Ireland with the anniversary of our country being formed in 2021. So, yeah, it's going to be amazing. Just an amazing year ahead. I mean, we just have to get this year over. Keep the Gers winning. Keep the faith. Just everybody stay safe and look after yourselves.
You too, Warren. You too.
Warren, great call as always, mate.
We'll be on again next week.
Brilliant. Speak soon, pal. Cheers.
Bye. There we go,
there
guys.
Go, Warren,
You never toasted the Queen.
No, it's the other dose because we're doing a wee extra half hour.
Oh, so we are.
He's laughed. William laughed, and you laughed when I said, I know who the leak at Parkhead is. I know who the leak is. This is my hard work. I get told for a good, reliable source. I might be wrong, but I've actually been told that's who it was. And he's running about with leaks now. Andy, you've never heard it like it. You get beaten just because of the leak. It's normally totties. Normally it's totties and there's leaks. And I've never known a club like it, you know what I mean? But it's a leak, and then Lennon's told us he's lost the dressing room, apparently. How can you lose your dressing room? All you do is you go up the tunnel, you turn right. It doesn't disappear. Right, I'm going to toast the Queen. Right. He's a wee setting. This is a loud one.
Thanks, Rob Hall, for the stars.
Hold on a minute. Anyway, I can pull that. Into the new cups.
Into the new cup.
Still the Loudon Domino's team sponsored it. The whiskey.
Oh, dearie me. Where's my cup?
To Her Majesty the Queen and the famous Glasgow Rangers on to victory.
There we go.
God save the Queen.
Long may she reign.
I never realised I pulled a treble there, but...
Oh. That was the reason for the mug, wasn't it?
Aye, that was it. My mate Boffy's just put a wee post up there. He's not seen the show for a while, and we're all professional now.
I know, I've seen that.
We've never looked back since he smashed my King Billy. Look, he smashed my King Billy glasses every time. Don't stop mentioning it. Well, collector's items.
We'll progress through it, the mugs.
The plan was we were going to go into the, what do you call it, the Antiques Roadshow with these King William glasses for 100 odd years ago.
Right, Andy Clark said, Sandra, why do you think the media in Scotland won't give the guy like Gordon a platform? Because they're too busy trying to hide it and don't want to be the platform.
To be fair, it's very similar to the fact that they don't want to cover any stories about the Catholic Church.
Yep, the Catholic Church. There's always been a theory.
It's ran by them. Especially if anybody ever speaks out the Catholic Church, Celtic Football Club, Irish Republicanism. Yeah. They're all connected. They all believe in the same beliefs.
We'll probably get a lot of backlash because they're saying because we're a Rangers podcast. Why are we putting this out? The guy asked us for his help.
Aye, at the end of the day, it's a media story. It had to get put out there. But aye, you ask the question. That's how these people act. They cover things up. They try to romance the terrorist IRA and things like that. They'll tell you Celtic's connections with them don't exist. That's how they operate. But listen, we're here to talk about the famous Glasgow Rangers now. We're going to do another 20 minutes of the show. We'll just want to talk about the game against Livingston. Want to talk about that?
Yes.
You talk again because I'm trying to recover for this thing.
Sorry, I'm trying to get in here.
Roddy Fraser.
Leaky Lennon, should it not be the Welshman Hartson with the leak?
I don't know. I've been told that was
Rob
who the leak.
Here's to the boss.
Aye, that's listen, if it comes out that was a leak, that's what I've been told. That's what I get told was a leak.
Oh, cheers, Si, said Alan Booth. Right, merchandise, guys. There's a link on the page for the New Gers TV merchandise, and it's gone really well. I'm really pleased at how it's going just now, but there's a wee link on our page for the Bears Den. It's doing our merchandise.
And you can get mugs too.
And also the Craft Northern Ireland is the sponsor of the show, so thanks to them tonight.
If you want to be the sponsor next week, that was a wee PM.
That's right. If they want to be the sponsor of the show, any business, it doesn't need to be a Rangers business. It could be any business you run. Get in touch with us and you can be a sponsor for our show. Just get in touch with us. Yep. There we go.
Aye. Anybody else want to phone? The number's up there, guys. You want to phone? All we need is the last 3 digits.
Let's hear your views on the game on Saturday.
See, the thing is, when Rangers get beaten, anything else you get unupdated with the unwashed batty slaggies.
See, we have none unwashed phone tonight.
They don't phone up when it's a night like this, so that just shows you it's a wee bit clear in them. But if any of the Rangers fans, a couple of my pals are on the page and everyone else, if anybody's wanting to give us a wee call and have a wee laugh and everything else, the main thing for me is Rangers need to be consistent. Just go to Livingston's a hard game for us. If you could go to Livingston and get a result. Call. Aye, that's at the Tango women.
Take it this is your first time on.
As I said, if Rangers can get the results, we've got the European game and we've got the Livingston game, and right now I think every Rangers fan's the same. Just get results, keep it going, just keep the machine, the well-oiled machine we're being called, keep that machine going and get results and results and results. They'll struggle against AC Milan, so they're going to start. They've got Aberdeen 2 games. They won't be easy. I think the pressure's on them now. It's not on us.
Yep.
And our team seems to suit the way that they're playing, and the pressure seems to be. There's a wee bit of pressure lifted phase now. Any comments? We get loads of comments, so let's see if we got any comments.
I can't see because of that bit there. I need to move that for my volume, please. That was the Queen. Your leaks looked like what? Spring onions. I think that's what they were.
Or Sibes. What's the difference with Sibes and a spring onion?
That is a spring onion, isn't it? A Sibes?
No, I think it's a Scottish word for it.
Aye, a Sibes is aye, but it still has a spring onion. We call them scallions. Said Warren.
Well, that picture I put up here, we call them a lot more names than that, but I can't say it on that. It's a family show now. But we'll just call it Fumhead with Formed with leaks. It's fantastic when you can see how well Rangers are doing, and when the excuses are coming out, and it's excuses that are so silly, like leaks. We've got YouTube comments, guys. We've just caught up with the YouTube comments, and so let's catch up with some of them.
Oh my goodness, keep it looped.
Celtic fans have stayed well clear of the podcast. Very true.
The sheep will lie. You're going too fast for me here. The sheep will lie down to them.
I don't think so. Listen, I'm not so sure about that.
Andrew Madden.
There's got to start coming to that one. I'm trying to keep up here, man. That wee whiskey, and that's going 100 mile an hour up there. I'm like,
that's a wee back.
Right, so Peaceful Warrior, start up here.
Peaceful Warrior. Catherine McQuaid, better than a sleeping tablet. Don't know how that works. Your face says it all, Sandra. That must have been earlier on. I don't know.
A lot of people are talking about Ian Ferguson. A lot of people are talking about Ian Ferguson. I mean, he's Ian Ferguson, a guy like that, calling up the show and chatting about his time with Rangers and his views and all that. Well respected views. A lot of people appreciate that. We'll try and get more Rangers, kind of get legends on. I've obviously got a few contacts with him, and it's always hard to get people to come on because it's this time of night and wherever they stay. But loads of plans for other players to come on as well. But thanks to Fergie for doing it.
Peaceful Warrior, Chrissy Ladyweed, Nicola Stubborn.
Stubborn, that's my favourite name.
Blue Nose Joker. What's your Twitter account?
We don't do Twitter, do we? I don't know.
Well, we do, but we don't really
use it. I can't do all that tagging.
Aye, I don't like it.
Hashtagging all that.
David Houghton, hi guys. Do you think we can through the league undefeated? I don't think we'll go undefeated.
That's a hard question.
Make it through the league. I think we'll make the league.
I think that question depends on how well we do in Europe. Because if we do well in Europe, it's all very well saying you've got two teams you could put out there, but you've got injuries and everything else, and you have to then you get to a position where you get tiredness and fatigue because it's a good group we're in. I think we would struggle to go undefeated, but I think we're going to get a record number of clean sheets this season. We're already
Alan Booth says 1 game at a time, losing a goal. Oh, where did it go? Thanks, William.
That's what I said to Alan Booth when he dropped my King William class.
Losing a goal is like a defeat now. That's how much we have raised our game. Total concentration for the 90 minutes in every game. I agree with you.
Booth, I agree with you 100%, because that one for me at the end there, the game, I thought he was going to score. And he didn't even hit a target, right? But everybody was just like, we just want to keep a clean sheet. There's a bit of pride in that defence now. They don't want to lose it. And that comes from McGregor right onwards. And McLaughlin, the two of them, the two goalkeepers, they've set standards. And they were compared with Iron Curtin. Fair enough, it's a massive name to be compared to. But the bottom line is, these guys have proved it. They hit the record. I think they'll get more clean sheets. I think they'll get a record number of clean sheets this season. You're right. It's a bit of pride in losing goals.
McCrory and Ferguson won't lie down.
I don't see. We're talking about Aberdeen there. I don't see Aberdeen lying down. That's two really hard games that they've got. You can only make excuses so many times. You know what I mean? I look forward to more stupid videos for that big bald.
Love a treble this year,
guys. It's a disaster.
One game at a time, guys. 1 game at a time. Get us there. Loyalty is 24/7, bud. Whatever that is.
I think it was the Toast of the Queen, maybe.
Okay. Just hope we can stay COVID free. I think that would be a factor for a lot of teams this season, especially travelling to Europe.
See, I mean, I get the fact. To just explain this COVID thing is only an excuse when it comes to Celtic, right? Every other team's just going with it. Now, here's an example. Edward could have played the game. He was dropped just because he's been, I'm not allowed to swear, but I'm going to say it anyway.
No.
Right, that's me, you're a Cerdite. I'm taking it for this one, right? He was dropped because he's not been on form, right? He came back and he could have played the game. You can't say it was because of COVID-19 because he was allowed to play the game. Right, and as far as I'm concerned, we shouldn't be using excuses anyway. See if COVID does affect us in any way, we get on with it.
But it all because he was so many days he couldn't play for the days anyway.
He couldn't train.
Aye.
But he could train in his own country. But when he came back, he had a day early. He was allowed to play the match. Celtic didn't play him.
Right, okay.
So they can't say COVID-19 with that one, right? COVID-19 is an excuse, right? You get beat, you get beat. It's simple. There's two ways you look at it. If you've got excuses, you can. Lennon's always going to have excuses. That's his style.
I thought the one would be that we never had our best players in the park because of this COVID. That's how he's won.
You have all that stuff, and it was the reserves and all that stuff. And see this carry on about the big stupid comment with big Boheed Sheridan about the big team, AC
aye.
Milan. Well, here's a
Aye.
prediction: AC Milan will wipe the floor with him,
I
right?
know.
And then he's going to look even more stupid.
And your eye. Do
Do you know what I mean?
Tommy.
Just grow up. But see when you underestimate the opposition, like, because you need, the way I look at it, Celtic are still the champions of Scottish football. Asterisk champions, but they're champions, and you need to give them respect, right? When you play them, you give them respect. Steven Gerrard gave them respect, and they gave us no respect.
None.
They gave us no respect, and that's why we ran early top of them. They didn't realise how good the famous Glasgow Rangers were going to be, and they were outstanding at times. And I don't think we came out of second gear.
No, we didn't need to.
No, we didn't need to come out of second gear. And if we had to, we could have. If they'd have scored a goal, we'd have been up and scored another goal, no problem whatsoever.
There we go. Aberdeen to beat Celtic. Where are we? AC Milan to win 5-0.
Telling you, AC Milan will wipe the flare, and they'll turn against Big
Jim
Boheed.
McCall says Tiny and sisters.
Aye, but just a quick comment on what Jim's mentioned there. What it was a
Right,
video
okay.
was put out there. It was
50
Susie put
years.
out Susie Sue. What it was it was Tiny. She done it. Tiny used to be her whole family used to be it's hard to explain what job he done because he done every job, from cleaning
Right,
to
okay.
cooking the meals and everything else. And Tiny's now at home, and they filmed the game and let her watch it on the phone. It was quite heartbreaking. It was quite emotional watching it because the boy couldn't go into the home and see her. And they were playing it on the video and watching her let her see the goals, and she was all chuffed. Proper Rangers legend. She'd done the tours. The whole family done everything for cleaning. I'm talking about 100 years back, right to the new. And it's only a new thing that the family is not involved, but it was a great video to watch it.
Right, Colin Falls. Anybody who attends a rally led by Tommy Sheridan needs their head looked at. The man is an embarrassment. I totally agree with
He's
you
actually,
there,
to be
Colin
fair,
Falls.
he's actually turned into a clown. He's turned into a ridicule.
He is an embarrassment.
He's turned into a ridicule. And see if guys like that I did say, right, don't get me wrong, I did say last year we're not going to have any more politics on the show, but I've had a wee treble whiskey by mistake here. See if guys like that are championing
They down the Glasgow Rangers.
Aye, but see if guys like that are championing an independent Scotland, we'll have the union for years to come, because the guy's an arse. Basically, he's ridiculed. People are laughing at him now. They're mocking him. Do you know what I mean? So it's like the stupid resistance, Scottish resistance, that can't burn flags and all that. These people are clowns. So if they want to align themselves with Celtic, ideal. Ideal, because we're doing that. We're doing the talking on the park.
Do you know you never get anybody that's in the public eye associating themselves with Rangers? And the fair play, James Arthur, the singer.
Aye, that boy done it. He
came online and he wished Rangers all the best, and that's the first guy I've come out.
His dad's a member of or his dad used to be a member
so
of
well done, James Arthur.
the Nixdale Rangers Supporters Club.
Aye,
he came out
he
when
came
he won
out
it.
and said it.
When
We
they
wish
won it,
Rangers well.
I don't know, was it Britain's Got Talent 1 years ago?
I can't mind what he was on, but it's Britain's Got Talent, something like that.
He came out right away and he nailed the colours to the mast.
So fair play to James Arthur. I'll give you a wee backing there.
No, there's no many. You're right, there's no many people.
No, look at me date with Celtic like you.
And that's the reason, because the media turn on you and they look for stories and they want to call you every man or son. But it's like everything else. But there's no many people.
So thank you.
Some people say McDonald's done. There's a few people done it, to be fair. But in general, it's no fashionable to be a Rangers supporter in the
yes, it's
public
not really
light.
I know.
However, you should just turn the two fingers up and tell people who you are. The one I was reading to me was that Biffy Cairo. Seen that a couple of years ago.
Aye.
I interviewed the guy and he turned around and went, the guy said, I hear you're a Rangers fan. Guy from MTV, and Biffy Cairo boy says, don't know his name, useless fat idiot. Anyway, turns around and says, this is his words, for my sins I'm a Rangers fan because of my dad, but I'm not a bigot. And I thought, why would you turn around and come out with utter gumph? When that mob can turn around, you've got Rod Stewart can turn around and bring out songs about the Irish Republicans and killing women and kids and all that, and that's acceptable. We get guys apologising for just being a Rangers fan. That's the difference. You need to change your media outlook.
Another one, guys, if any of you are on Facebook, go on and follow Leanne Orr. That was fantastic with what she done as a Rangers supporter. Have you not seen it?
No.
I put one of the things on my Facebook about how to be orange. That was funny.
Oh, I did see it. I did see it. I didn't know it was.
That's Donna. She's got something to do with Donna Robertson. Get her to get a wee follow, guys, on Facebook. Absolutely.
Jim Trotter said I'm a bit tipsy. This is Jim Trotter. Now, I'm not going to tell Jim. Jim's half of the times Jim's a wee bit tipsy with the square sausage curries and the special Mars bars that he's got. But Jim's a great friend and a great help to the show. And he's back. And Royston, is it Royston
yes,
tonight? Where is he?
Yes, he's in Royston. The Garn Guards, he stays.
Letting off the red, white and blue fireworks.
Yes.
Aye, Jim, I've had a few beers celebrating a great victory at the weekend. A few tunes of glory. And you know what it's like. Sometimes you need to let your hair down. I've even grown my hair as well, for anybody's noticed, and that's why I've got a big daft haircut, because I'm going to go for a wee number 2.
Drew McIntyre, the wrestler, he's a Rangers fan, that's right. They're the 2 only ones I know. Drew McIntyre and James Arthur's only 2 I know guys that follow the Rangers. Do you know hear the story about Drew McIntyre was going to fight with Conor Golson at the wrestling? No. But they couldn't do it, because every time Drew McIntyre went get down, Conor Golson started dancing. I felt a joke coming on there now if I'd gone to answer that. That big boy, I've been trying to interview him for years. Big gorgeous guy. He's forever telling me that he's going to get an interview. I don't know how. He knows somebody that knows him. But the big guy's always talking about Rangers. I know. He's about 7 foot. I know. I've seen him. Nah, he's about 7. That was another one. Ali Dunn, he contacted me and said thanks for playing his... No, Ali Dunn's the female singer. Aye. No, the guy singer. Regan Lindsay it was. Regan Lindsay was it? Aye, and Ali, right? Aye, I know Regan Lindsay was contacted me and says thanks for playing his Bouncy all over the world in my car. He put it on my Facebook and he said thanks. Aye, but look, I tell you what, see I'll be 100% honest, right? I did a DJ at the Blackpool True Blues, and the first time I heard that, I went, oh man, I really don't like that song, right? I love it. Right, and then I had a couple of beers. Right, I was in Blackpool for 4 days, right? Turned out about 5 days. DJing to the 3,000 Rangers fans there. Then I played it, and there was nobody there because I was just practising, but then the DJ. And then I played it again, and then all of a sudden, do you ever get that where you can't stop singing the song? You're going, I don't like it. To say, I think that's Barcelona in 72, they beat the Russians by 3. And all of a sudden, that's my favourite song. I love it. I know Young Regan really well. Great song. And do you know what? If we can get more Rangers boys and Rangers people writing songs, because I think it was in the Grapes he sang that one. It's done his turn right round Facebook. But that one. The Union Bears wrote a song. I brought a song out the weekend. I know there's a few people slagging it, but I kind of liked it. They put it out, and there's a few people slagging it, but there's always people slagging things that we do Rangers. Name deliver. I always agree with you 100%. And the thing is, I could see what they were doing there. Do you know what? See, if you don't know the words to a song, it's hard to like it, if you know what I mean. And then when I was listening to it a few times, I thought, that's a kind of catchy one. But no, fair play. Love it. The thing I've always wanted to do is on the channel is maybe get a couple of musicians on and maybe do a wee show where they write a Rangers song once a month or something. But it's hard to get people that are involved in it. What am I missing here? Don't need to do it. I'm not going to. We'll get that later. I just caught it. Guys, it's an extra wee half hour the night for the show. It's a massive victory for the famous Glasgow Rangers. Great week, great time to be a Blue Nose, but at the same time, let's be humble and remember the fact that we need to. That's it. Keep getting the victories coming in. But I think the club's slowly getting things right. Not just on the park, but off the park as well. The Edmiston club's coming down. Yeah. And you know what? How many great memories. I think we'll maybe do next week's show. And if there's no any great talking points, what we'll do is all the great acts that we've seen early years in the Edmiston club. Everybody's been in it for one night or another. They're slowly heading towards 150 years of Rangers. And I think the club will now, because I was worried about the time, but I think they will celebrate it in the right manner, befitting the greatest football club in the world. Rangers, there's also, my dad used to always say to me, the pendulum swings, it's slowly swinging back to the blue half of Glasgow. That's it. They're going to have to get used to the fact that these lawsuits and everything else is going to start costing them a lot of money. And Welsh is costing them a lot of money. It's tipsy. He's talking non-stop. It's this. I got the whiskey for the Loudon Dominoes team. Brian got me, and he did say to me it's a wee bit stronger than you're used to. So it has been. It's house measures he's pouring, remember? That's what they call it, Grandad's all cough medicine. But as I said, great times are coming for Rangers. I think we're slowly getting everything back. There's been a wee message retracted. I don't know what you said, son. Everybody in Scottish football trying to bring us down to the very bottom of as far as we could go. No foe, Billy Murray. We're slowly coming back. Let's just hope we just get the victories for the next couple of weeks. Yeah, let's get a wee recap. A recap. First of all, if you missed the start of the show, we had Rangers legend Ian Ferguson. And he was on for about 15 minutes. Yes, he was on. And it was the middle of the night, by the way, guys, when he phoned. From Australia. Yes. And talked about his career, the game, and the fact that the Scottish media and no one likes us, we don't care. Yep. Watch that, guys, if you get a chance. Do the wee watch parties or do the sharing, liking. Like and share, guys. Like and share. And what else about Sandra? We had Gordon Woods on. Yep. Telling us his story, guys, about the scandal. If you only need to watch back to see what he said to us. Rangers women won 5-1 to Hearts. We're going to start doing a bit of report on that and everything if we can. We're going to start following the women's football there at Rangers. So they played Hearts 5-1, so well done to them. That girl, Sonia, what's her name? Sonia, the one they're always talking about. I can't remember her name now. She's always phoning me up, going, "What are you up to, Simon?" I'm washing my hair. I'm like,
I'm washing my hair, sweetheart. Right. And she's like, do you not know who I'm? I'm like, do you not know who I'm? Right. And she's never washing her hair when I phone her right enough.
Oh,
No, we're going to get involved with the Rangers ladies team and we're going to try and promote it a wee bit more.
Right, guys, that was it. The European game Thursday.
5
to 5.
5 to 6.
5 to 6.
So 5:55 it's on.
5:55, 5 to 6. You've got the
Sonia
European
Neal.
football, guys.
That's the one's going to put it up there. I know. It's the world famous Gers TV. Yeah. Nobody offers to buy me motors or anything. They just want to swap taps with me. Remember that time?
Yes, I remember that time.
Oh, slowly cut by that story. Aye, as I say, guys, loads happening with Rangers. We'll probably finish off it with Regan's song there that you mentioned, the fact that he played it. It's a great tune doing the bounce all over the world. The masks, quickly, Debbie.
Right, the masks. If you buy a Gers TV and the Rangers mask, you get the 2 for £10. Buy them singly and they're £6, guys.
And they've been all over the world so far.
All over the world. One photographs. As soon as you get your mask, get a wee picture to it and get it on their page, guys.
Mugs you can get as well as
£10.
all the other merchandise, and all you do is go on the Bears Den.
Bears Den is for the merchandise, t-shirts, zippers, and they're great, absolute cracking quality, guys. Cracking quality.
A wee thanks to our sponsors, the Craftworks Northern Ireland.
Yep, that's them. It was Gary Taylor, which is the sponsor for Craftwork Northern Ireland.
If you want to be next week's sponsor, give it a wee shout. It's no costing a lot of money, it's great. Aye, we might do scarves, good shout. But, well, if you tell us what you want, we'll basically
you give us an idea what yours would buy, and then we could have a wee look at it, guys.
As long as it's legal.
Yes, as long as it's legal.
I know, exactly. Some of the guys that watch the show like that, I've got a great idea, and you're like, no.
Time for us to go, guys. Be here next week, same time, and never forget, we are the people.
We are the Rangers FC. We are the people, you better believe. We are together, we're doing the bouncy all over the world. We had our troubles, but now they are gone. They tried to kill us, but the Bears we stood strong. We are together, doing the bouncy all over the world. Lucia Vibrox for Lancer a dream. Follow, and God save the Queen. You'll hear us singing, doing the bouncy all over the world. In Barcelona in 72, we beat the Russians but 3-2. Still celebrating, doing the bouncy all over the world. Glasgow Rangers are back where we belong. Blue sea of Ibrox, and we're still going strong. We wear our colours, the red, white and blue. We wear them proudly like blue noses do. We are together, doing the bouncy all over the world. The pride of Scotland, but that's nothing new. The pride of Glasgow, and Glasgow is blue. We are together, doing the bouncy all over the world. To be a blue nose, it fills us with pride. We are united, we'll never divide. We are together, doing the bouncy all over the world. Doing the bouncy all over the world. Doing the bouncy all over the world.